going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new ranking. The Scottsdale International Film Festival 2019, or SIFF for short, just ended, and I'm here to give you guys my ranking of every single film that I saw at the festival. This is going to be a fun list. Now, if you weren't at the Scottsdale International Film Festival, just comment down below and let me know what your favorite films are. What films are you looking forward to? And if I haven't done reviews for all these films yet, do look forward to them in the coming weeks. They should be coming up anytime now, but I will leave a playlist up above that has where all those will be shown at. I do have a couple coming this week, and of course later in today there will be a vlog for SIFF, kind of just going over and running down my basic reactions and kind of what the festival looks like, and kind of just showing you guys that you guys should support your local film festivals. But without further ado, let's get started. Number 7 is going to be Honey Boy. Now, this is a movie that I definitely really appreciate, and the fact that is I love Shia LaBeouf's performance in here. This is very much a semi-autobiography about his life that he wrote back when he was in rehab, as it's telling the story of when he had gone to rehab, and it's going about his relationship with his father. This is a movie that did hit me emotionally, and I think Noah Jupe is fantastic here as playing a younger version of him. Lucas Hedges is incredible, and I actually think there was so much in there. Now, while it falls down here for me is because I do think it was a little bit too long, and I also think the ending was a bit abrupt. But the thing that really keeps this film afloat isn't just Shia LaBeouf's performances, it's Alma's directing in here. She is excellent, and the way that she frames each shot, the way that she decides to tell the story with the script, it all works miraculously and wonderfully. And even though this kind of feels like a little bit of a therapy for Shia LaBeouf, and it feels like a way diving into his mind, I can't imagine what this will actually do for other people who have gone through the same issues as LaBeouf in his relationship with his father, and what other people have gone through with their father. Brings me to my number 6, and my number 6 will be The Two Popes. I wasn't really looking forward to this movie, and I do have a review still coming out for this one later, I think later in the month, but I mean, I had to see it because my last name's Pope, and I didn't know what to expect from it. I came out really pleasantly surprised. In fact, I came out so surprised that I would not be surprised if Jonathan Pryce got nominated for an Oscar. He's so good in this movie. Like, bar none, one of the best performances that I've seen all year long. It was emotional, it was in-depth, and inside itself, it was very relatable. Performances like that really stick with you for the rest of the year, and it's definitely one of the performances that have stuck with me over the last couple of weeks. The relationship that he actually has with Anthony Hopkins in here is wonderful. Their chemistry is great, and The Two Popes works on all fronts because of the directing and writing, and it came out to be one of the biggest surprises at the festival. Coming in at my number 5 is going to be The Report. This is a movie I've been dying to see since Sundance. Scott Z. Burns and Daniel J. Jones. I actually got to interview both of them, but Scott directs this. It's about Daniel J. Jones' life, and Adam Driver's playing Daniel. It's about him making this torture report that not many people know about. It's one of the most interesting and fascinating stories for one of the political thrillers, and it has one of the deepest and darkest scripts that I've seen all year long. It's super fast-paced. It gives you all the information while not at one point making you confused on what is going on, how is the timeline going on, and the whole story structure. It is a major applause from Scott for his directing and writing in this film, and Driver is just phenomenal in this movie. He's one of the best actors working today, and we're going to definitely talk about a film later in this video talking about why he is one of the best actors working today, but The Report is definitely up there for me. Coming in at my number 4 is going to be Knives Out. Now, I think I need to see this one again. I think it will actually bump up a bit on my list, but I absolutely loved Knives Out. I think Rian Johnson is a phenomenal director and writer, and Knives Out proves that to all points. The stylization of this story is great. The script is fantastic, and the cast in here is bar none superb. Daniel Craig, if this year wasn't stacked for Best Supporting Actor, I could actually see him getting a nomination for how clever and unique he is in this film, but also just in general when it goes to everyone else. Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, fantastic. Michael Shannon, great. Christopher Plummer, awesome. But the biggest other two standouts is Chris Evans and Ama de Armas. Awesome characters all in here. It's a fantastic murder mystery story on what's going on, who's done it. You're going to be following along and be on the edge of your seat the whole entire time, and it's one of the reasons that I really much loved Knives Out. Coming in at my number 3 is going to be Ford v Ferrari. I loved this movie. Now, many people are saying it's a little bit shallow when it comes to the characters, and you know what? I can see that. I can 100% see that, and I heard a lot of that before I went into the movie. But as I went into this movie, it was just so entertaining. I walked out with the biggest smile on my face, and I cannot wait to show this film to my dad because I know he's going to feel the same way. Ford v Ferrari really took me by storm. It locked me into the seat of the race car and just took off. Christian Bale is fantastic. Matt Damon is great, and I think James Mangold proves in this film that he's one of the most capable and one of the most dedicated directors that you could possibly have on the helm of a movie. This is a great movie, and really it isn't the story about these two guys, it's the story of what they did for Ford, and I think that's what we need to look on more. Yes, we could have gotten a little bit more depth with them, but that's not what I needed and not what I expected after I got in. Now maybe that's because I heard pre-notions before it, but I really appreciate this one, and it was a blast to watch in the theaters. Coming in at my number 2 is going to be Marriage Story. Now this again stars Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. When I walked out of this film, I felt very mixed on it. Not because I didn't love it, but mixed because of how much emotions it had fueled with inside me. It fueled the emotions of hate, depression, sadness, love, happiness, hopefulness, all sorts of things running amok with me, and Noah Baumbach should be acclaimed for his direction and writing within this movie. And the way that he gets top-tier performances. Scarlett Johansson for me right now is the actress I want to see win the Oscar this year. Like, absolutely for Best Actress, she is so flipping good. I also have to say, it's going to be between Phoenix and Driver this year for Best Actor, because Adam Driver goes to another level in this one, playing the husband in here who is fighting for custody of his child. I think Marriage Story comes down to be one of the best films of this year as well, because it's so capably made, it's superbly made, it's a true achievement and all that stuff, but it's really the way that it brings out the emotions in you, the way that it feels so real, the way that Noah Baumbach captured every single one of these things and the essence of it all really brings it right around. And it's a movie that you can't predict, but you're just locked in the whole time it's going. And when it gets into the lawyer stuff, my God, that's when I started getting so much feeling of hatred. It makes you never want to get a divorce. It makes you never want to go through it. And my God, Marriage Story is a true master of this whole year of when it comes to filmmaking. Even one of those films that the more you think of, the more you start to love. Coming in at my number 1 is still my number 1 favorite film of the year, and that is Waves. Waves took me by storm. Waves is everything that I wanted to. You know how a wave can be unpredictable? Waves is that same way. It's a hard film to talk about because the film is very different. The first half is completely different than the second half, but without the first half, you can't have the second half. The first half builds up, has something happen, and then the second half is the resolution to that we never get to see in stories like this. But it's not just the storytelling that is a true achievement and a cinematic achievement in itself. It comes down to the characters, the lighting, technicalities of this film. Every single thing in this film, Schultz should be acclaimed for what he accomplished in here. From a technical level, this is a masterpiece. But for me, even in the film, I think the film is perfection. The aspect ratios changed with this story in the best way that it could. The colorizing, the cinematography, everything in this film has something to do with the story, and I thought it was flippin' brilliant what Schultz did with this movie. Performances are off the chains great, and I really hope A24 starts pushing this for Best Picture because it deserves the damn nomination. That's my ranking of SIFF 2019. Thank you guys again so much for clicking on this and watching this. If you guys are new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below and let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to. And of course, I'll make sure to catch you guys at the movies soon. So thank you to you for watching this. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Make sure to go check out Sandwich on Films on how to see films early. And of course, until next time, stay classy.